Have you ever been stuck trying to learn a particular groove that just seemed too difficult for you? Now, this doesn't matter if you are a beginner drummer, intermediate drummer, advanced drummer. There are grooves that are quite difficult to us according to our different levels of skills. So today, I'm going to be teaching you a particular pattern that has worked for every student I've ever taught, and I always use it myself to learn new grooves. So be rest assured that this is going to work for you. Just be sure to watch to the end and subscribe to this channel because I reveal lots of secrets like this. So now let's jump right into today's lesson. So I'm going to be using 3 grooves to show you guys how effective this pattern is and how it works for anybody. The first one is going to be for the beginners, and the second and the third one is going to work for intermediate and advanced players. So whenever you hear a groove, the first thing you should do is to take note of what each hand is doing in that groove. Now, what you want to make sure you're doing is you take note of the right hand, take note of the left hand, take note of your right foot and your left foot. I'm going to focus in today just on your right hand, left hand, and then your foot. Now, this is the groove we're going to be working with for the beginner drummers. You get the right hand pattern first. The right hand pattern is just a constant repetition of 8 notes, singles, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Once you've gotten that going, now you try to do the left hand. It has, we had ba 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 ba. So your left hand was coming in on the 3 of each bar. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. It can be boring sometimes, but it's very effective. Then the same thing goes for the foot. You have now once you've gotten them individually, you now try to put, first of all, your right hand and your left hand together. So the right hand pattern, the 8 notes repeatedly, and the left hand coming in on 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Let me slow that down. So we've gotten the right hand and the left hand pattern together. Now, another thing we need to do is to merge the right hand pattern with the kick drum. So now we are not playing the left hand. We're trying to, remember, I'm doing this like I'm just learning this groove for the first time. I've not played it before. I'm just trying to attempt the groove. So you're going to make sure you're doing. So you might not get it so easily if you're a beginner drummer, but it's going to help you. It's going to open up your mind. If you try getting the 3 patterns together, you're going to get confused. But doing this, like, what it does is it makes you learn each pattern individually and makes it easier for you to do. Now we are done with right hand and the kick pattern. Now we're going to do the left hand and kick together. So we have. So now what we do now is we merge everything together slowly to see if we've actually learned the groove. So quarter notes coming in on 3 and then your kick pattern. Basically, we've learned the pattern. I'm going to be using this second groove now to illustrate it in a more advanced situation. Now we have a groove like this. So using the same pattern I just taught in the beginning, you try out first of all your right hand alone. Quarter notes, we've gotten that already. The third, your left hand comes in on the 3 of the bar. So the work is on the kick. We're having. So now once you've gotten them individually, you start to mix it like we did the first time. Now you mix kick and right hand. Now the same thing, left hand and kick drum. And you merge your right hand, your left hand, and your kick drum together, and you make magic. Now the third and the final groove we are going to be using to, try out the effectiveness of this pattern is this groove. Now here we have ghost notes, we have accents, and this is where it begins to sound much more advanced. So now we start out first of all, the pattern on the foot. Your right hand is just keeping constant 8 notes, the same thing he was doing on the hi-hat. So your left hand is just saying. So we've gotten the left hand, the right hand, and the kick individually. Now merging your right hand and your left hand together, we have. So now we can just sometimes keep the process and then add the kick to it. Now, one thing that can make this groove much more effective for you is while you are doing these things, let's say you're trying out the pattern between your right hand and your left hand, and your kick is where you're having confusion. Make sure while you're playing the both of them, your kick, you are imagining exactly what you want to play. You're having a pattern like. So as you're playing this stuff within your right hand and your left hand, you are imagining that kick pattern in your head already. Once you can imagine it in your head, when it comes to playing it actually while playing, you're not going to have much problems with it. It's going to take you just a little time. Nobody here will say I talk. You're not going to have much problems playing it. It's going to take you just a little time and you've gotten it. So now one other thing you need to do as a drummer is to make sure whenever you play, you're always sounding as clean as possible. Because the reason why I thought this groove is when you try to learn a groove and it's so muffled up, you've not learnt it individually, you just make a mess of it sometimes without knowing when you try to force everything together. So I made a video explaining how to play, how to sound perfect on drums, how to sound very, very clean, the right places to hit your drums, and how they respond. And I want to check out that video right here. Peace.